Welcome to Ladies Who Question. We have an Olympic update, and boy, there's some good stuff to talk about. First, but let's start with the medal count. Are you okay? Just FYI, we are recording Tuesday evening, August 6th. So that's where we are, the U.S. as of right now.
Correct. So, yay USA, medal count. We have 75 total medals.
Wow.
19 gold, 29 silver, and 27 bronze. And I'm just going to mention the second place person, China. They have 52, so we're a good 23 over the next person down on the medal chain.
That's formidable. Good.
And the only thing that bums me out is China has 21 gold. We have 19. So I think we'll pass them up. We have so many more events that are still coming through. So we're killing it. We are killing it. So we want to talk about behind the scenes.
Okay, always with the Olympics. There's scuttlebutt, there's juice, there's heartwarming stories, like just tug at your heartstrings and warm your heart. And there have been, oh my gosh, an overwhelming number, I think, of those. And maybe I'm just watching the Olympics more carefully this year, but I feel like it's been very scattershot, my viewing. I like the first one that comes to mind for me that I've been sort of following is Colin Jost.
Okay, so I'm not following that. So what's happening?
Okay, Colin Jost of Saturday Night Live fame.
Right.
Anyway, he went over to cover the Olympics. They had him do a stand-up without shoes and in the ocean in Tahiti, where he's covering surfing.
Right.
His toes just got so badly cut up by coral, which is very dangerous because of the bacteria that you can get from coral. Well, he got an infection in his toes.
Oh, dear.
Bad, which is scary.
Uh-huh.
And then he got an ear infection as well. So they sent him home.
Oh, send him on a plane with an ear infection.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Right. Poor guy.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so he got sent home, and he's probably happy to be going home.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the funny observations he had about surfing were great, but his consolation prize is that he's going to be hosting Pop Culture Jeopardy or something, or Pop Culture some game show. He's got a gig. I mean, he's got SNL, of course,
right,
which is the 50th year that's going to be coming up.
Oh, that's going to be fun to watch.
Well, yeah, this is going to be a hell of a season. I'm sure there'll be a lot of pop-ins aplenty. But anyway, so he's got that as a consolation prize. What else?
Well, this is the funny one, the pole vaulter, and I forgot what country he's from, but when he hit the pole and the pole dropped, he was disqualified.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
And rumors were going around that his schlongdong hit the pole, but really it was the inside of his thigh and his calf.
Oh, so
once they rewound it 100 times, but immediately it looked like it was his schlongdong.
Well, they were saying he had quite the package.
Right. Yes. And it led other people to talk about some of the swimmers' packages. And then I was listening to a funny podcast where they were talking about packages. But
so it wasn't his big old organ. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it.
But I mean, how embarrassing.
Well,
everybody's talking about
he probably loves it. Like,
that's right.
Come on, remember.
Okay. When his event's over, I wonder how many Tinder hits and left and right swipes he's going to get in the Olympic Village.
I'm sure he's already gotten them.
Okay.
Because remember what Nicola, the cyclist, she was talking about how after your event is over, that's when in the Olympic Village, that's when all the hookups start to happen.
Right.
So I'm sure he's hitting that and that and that.
Yep.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I thought I do remember that. That was funny. Speaking of pole vaulting, that kid he did it for Sweden, but he's from Lafayette, Louisiana. Did you see him?
Yes, I did.
Did you see the package about he's like 4 years old and his parents have set up this little...
Yes.
Wasn't that sweet?
He was almost born a pole vaulter.
His parents were both athletes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was darling.
Wasn't that?
And he started making things in his backyard, and then the dad started making things, and
Yeah.
he was vaulting out of the womb practically.
Well, I think he looked like he was about 4 years old when the first video that they were showing of
Right.
him. And then, in fact, the funny thing was his mom said, "Oh, we had to remove our fence so he could have more running room to get
Or there was a
accelerated."
hole in the fence or something.
No, they removed part of the panel of the fence.
okay.
They came from modest means.
Right,
So
right.
both his mom and dad are his coaches, so they save money there.
right.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, this kid, he won. I mean, it
And-
wasn't US, but he's from the
Right,
US,
that's
but
okay.
he played for Sweden.
Great backstory.
It was, yeah.
That part of the Olympics I don't understand. I know there's several other competitors that are competing for other countries. They were born here or they grew up here.
Or they live here, but they're competing for the other country.
Right.
That's the part that confuses me as well.
But I think if a parent was born in one of those countries, there's something like that, some kind of lineage that brings them to that country. And a couple of them did not make the Olympic team here, but they made it over in wherever.
I guess you can do that.
So,
oh, wait, let me jump back to surfing real quick before I forget.
Yeah.
Did you see that photo of two competitors paddling out in the surf?
No.
And the whale breaching?
Oh, I did. I saw it on the news.
Spectacular.
Oh.
The photographer caught that. And then, I don't know if it's the same photographer, but also in the surfing vein, a guy was done with a wave and it shows him midair and his board still attached to him, pointing to the sky with his index finger. And you can see the surfboard that he's got. And that's also at the same level as he is, way up in the air.
Gosh.
Way up. And to catch that, the photographer, it's like $1 million photo.
That's so cool.
That and the whale. Anyway, those are just two cool things. I can't think of anything else right now. What else have you got?
Okay, we've got
something.
Flava Flav.
Oh, yeah. He is so enthusiastic about water polo. And who'd have thunk,
I know.
right?
Exactly. Who would have thought Flava Flav? He supports the team. He sponsors the team. He wants to raise the exposure of water polo all over, but particularly in the United States, of course. And I'm just trying to look up.
Well, he has been a fan of water polo, I guess, for years and years. And now he's got this 5-year deal, right? Mm-hmm. He's called an official hype man.
He
It's really an
dances the
ambassador.
entire time of the match. He's dancing in the stands, and Guy Fieri is sitting next to him, and he's just watching him. And it was so funny.
Yeah. Oh, I also heard that he's the one who paid for the discus.
That's right.
Right? There was an Olympic discus.
Yes, and I think he won.
It had been online. The discus player said, "Oh yeah, I'm in the Olympics, but yet I can't even pay my rent." And it got some exposure, some play. He saw it, and he's like, "I'll cover your rent." But he stepped up and he said, "You're here,
It was a woman.
okay?"
Flava Flav and Alexis Ohanian
Oh yeah, right.
helped pay Olympic discus thrower Veronica Fraley's rent after she said she couldn't pay her rent. Olympic athletes may be global superstars, but their training, travel, and education can be very expensive.
Yeah.
And when one athlete tweeted about needing funding, two famous faces stepped in to help.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. Serena
Yeah.
Williams' husband, Alexis Ohanian, and then Flava Flav.
Right.
I mean, hats off. Thanks.
I know.
Those are the kind of things I like to hear about a little bit
love
more.
those stories. And
Yeah.
you know what, Flava Flav? We'd love to have you on our show.
I love how you aim high. Unrealistic, but aim
Hey.
high.
Come to Chicago.
Well,
Probably going to stop in one day soon.
or maybe we could get him on a Zoom once we get set up. Wasn't there? You mentioned something about a really young Olympian, and I don't know anything about that.
The youngest Olympian ever to be in the Olympics is an 11-year-old skateboarder girl from China.
11 years
Yes.
old.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either. I almost feel like there should be an age minimum. I know the gymnasts start young. There's some 15 and 16-year-olds. Like 15 sounds like a young age to me, and that to me would be more reasonable. But 11?
11 years old. That just
That's a child.
I don't know. There's something that bothers me about that. It just seems like to have a child at 11 competing at that level.
I know.
Oh well.
Okay, so do you know that all the Olympic all the Olympians get paid by their country per medal?
I did hear that. The analysts were talking about that, and it's up to the country what the people would get. Like the one woman from, oh gosh, ran like a bullet, St. Lucia, and she won, like the women's 100 meter.
Right.
Which reminds me, how in the hell do these people, they run like bullets, like speeding bullets. How does a body move like that? Anyway, they said St. Lucia, she'll probably get like a house and she'll get like some money.
Right. There's a huge variance in how many, each country does pay their Olympians. Oh, Kazakhstan, they make a lot.
Really?
In Kazakhstan, if you get a gold, you get 250.
250,000.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe, I don't know if that's, no, it's American. 150 for silver and 75 for bronze. I know Americans like 13,000
for a gold. Wait, Kazakhstan pays 250,000 to their gold medalists, and we're paying 13,000 to our gold medalists.
37 in bonuses for a gold. This is the American, U.S. 22,000 for silver and 15 for bronze.
We really cheap out,
right? And I think China's number one in payments.
Why? That shocks me. Why is that?
I know. I don't know.
There must be other incentives or other things that are dispensed, because no wonder the kid from Louisiana for the high jump, no wonder he's like, oh, I'm going to go to Sweden. They're going to pay me more if I win.
That could be part of it.
Because
I never knew anybody made any money. I thought it was, okay, if you win gold, then you will be sponsored or you'll be on a few commercials or whatever.
Maybe that's how it used to be. Mm-hmm. Well, that's our Olympics roundup, unless you have something else.
I don't think so. Not right now. I got to go home tonight and watch and see what's going on.
Well, let's talk about Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah. You've got the juice.
Yeah. Well, it's just a blurb, really, but he got his license taken away, and this was, I think, late last week, because he had to go in for a hearing.
Okay. Right in the middle of his tour.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, guys, I will be back when the curtain is lifted.
Well, he zoomed. It was zoomed.
Oh, it was a Zoom.
Yeah, he was. His attorneys, of course, had to show up
okay.
live. The upshot is that he's not going to get off because there is so much circumstantial evidence, so many observations by the police. And when you look at just his mugshot alone, I mean, he looks stoned out of his mind.
Right.
So, yeah, he said he had one martini, and admittedly, but they have so much videotape, blowing a stop sign and the smell of liquor on his breath. And they were saying maybe they could get it down to reckless driving instead of a DUI. But
well, maybe we'll see him on the side of the road picking up trash. Community service for 2 years.
I wish more people had to do that, because then at least we wouldn't have all like garbage on the side of our roads.
I totally agree. Should we end on that one?
Yeah, I don't have any other scoops. Yeah. I'm sure there was other stuff going on, but that's it. Thank you for listening, and enjoy watching the Olympics.
Please follow us, subscribe, rate, review, send us your feedback. We want to hear from you.
It's time to go over and out.
Toodles.
Bye. Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisa Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisa Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.